Hi, my name's Elena Markoulis and I'm a physical therapist at 3-Dimensional Physical Therapy in Haddon Heights. Today, Christina and I are going to show you some dance exercises that can help with hip strengthening. If you have hip pain, knee pain, or are just working to improve your technique, we've both been involved in the dance world since we've been about 3 years old. So today we're going to show you some things to make you a better dancer. This exercise that we'll do is called a hip car. So what Christina's going to do to start is she's going to bring her knee forward and then out into this turned out position. She's going to try to think about squeezing from her glutes to get into that turn out, and then pull her hip back and rotate into that parallel position. Still working on that glute contraction and trying to not arch her back. And then nice and slow, she'll lower her hip down to that same starting position. For this exercise, you can perform this 10 times going forward, and then now Christina will perform the same thing going in the opposite direction. So she's going to lift up, squeezing from her glutes, rotating out into a turned out position, and then coming forward, back into that starting position. This can be performed 10 times forward and 10 times backwards on both legs to work your hip in all those different directions. This exercise is called quadruped hip extension. The goal with this for dancers is to really make sure they're not using their back muscles and using their glutes to get this motion. Christina's gonna straighten out her back leg, making sure to keep her core engaged. She's gonna lift up towards the ceiling and then nice and slow back down to the floor. She's gonna make sure to stay in a parallel position to really focus on working those glute muscles that we don't always work in our dance classes. She's gonna lift up one more time, nice and slow up, making sure her core is staying engaged and her back isn't arching, and lowering down. This can be performed for 2 rounds of 10 on each leg. Again, just really focusing on feeling that activation through the glutes. This exercise is called a clamshell, and we will be doing it in a side plank position just to work at a more advanced level and really get the core involved as well. Christina's gonna be on her elbow and her knee. She's gonna think about engaging her core and lifting her hips a couple inches up off of the table. She's starting in this parallel position, squeezing from her glutes and then rotating that knee up towards my hand to work out into a turned out position, and then nice and slowly back down. This is gonna help with your turnout and making sure you're getting that motion from the glutes and you're not putting any extra stress on your hip joint. Christina's gonna perform that for 2 rounds of 15 on each side, trying to keep that couple inches of space from the table as she goes through that exercise. This exercise, we will be working from a parallel passe to a turned out passe with the resistance band to really work on that glute and hip activation. Christina's gonna lift her leg up into a parallel passe, keeping her core engaged and trying not to rotate through her low back. She's gonna push into that band, bring her knee out to the side, and then nice and slow, control that back in. She's gonna really think about feeling that activation through her glutes and make sure that she's not feeling any pinching in her hip. This exercise is gonna help with your turnout, the power of your turns, and again, making sure you're not putting too much stress on that hip joint as you work in a turned out position. This exercise can be completed for 2 rounds of 10 on each side, making sure you're spending just as much time working your non-dominant leg as you are your dominant leg. These exercises are great for any dancers who want to work on their hip strength, have hip pain, or just want to improve their technique. If you're a dancer having hip pain or any other issues in your technique classes, please reach out to us at 3dpt.com or call any of our offices so that we can help you out.